What up, Tim Moves here, and happy Memorial Day. In honor of Memorial Day, I'm doing my reviews for 10 war movies. So here's my review for the second war film I'm doing my review for, and that is Oliver Stone's iconic 1986 film, Platoon. Now, Platoon stars the likes of Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, William Dafoe, Forrest Whitaker. It was directed by Oliver Stone, who around the 80s was no stranger to do these type of warfares. He also did, the movie Born on the 4th of July. Oliver Stone is pretty iconic when it comes to these historical epic films. He did the movie World Trade Center. He did the film about George W. Bush, simply titled W. He's pretty good with these type of stuff. Probably his worst is maybe that Snowden movie, but that's their side. Platoon is definitely a really iconic war movie of the 80s. Here you got Charlie Sheen, like a very young Charlie Sheen, who portrays Chris Taylor, who leaves his university studies to enlist in combat duty in the Vietnam War in 1967. So this movie, of course, takes place during the Vietnam War, and he ends up leaving on the ground in the middle of battle, and he is fighting in his unit between Staff Sergeant Barnes, portrayed wonderfully by Tom Berenger. You also got William Dafoe, who portrays Sergeant Ellis, who has more sympathetic views of the locals here, and he ends up putting the soldiers against each other as well as against the enemies here. The writing in this is terrific. The cinematography, that especially from the 80s, is really decent. The cast in this is definitely insane. Like I said, you got the likes of Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger. You even had Johnny Depp was in this. Tony Todd, John C. McGinley, from Scrubs fame. Kevin Dillon, Keith David. The aforementioned William Dafoe, Forrest Whitaker. The cast in this is insane. Oliver Stone did such a great job, directing this film. The iconic scene, with the sergeant, laying in the pretty much holding his arm out, is really iconic to watch. This is definitely a really solid warfare. Shows how intense Vietnam War was. And Charlie Sheen, of course, it was pretty cool to see Charlie Sheen stuff before he became the laughingstock nowadays. But Charlie Sheen was still solid in this movie. You had loads of other cool cast in this. It got released in 1986. The actual release date was what was the actual release date? December 1986, and it's a movie that still holds up today, in my opinion. It's such an intense movie to watch. It is pretty brutal at times. Not Saving Private Ryan brutal, but it's still pretty brutal. So if you guys have never really seen Platoon, by the way, the scene of with the death of Sergeant Ellis is it's probably one of the most iconic scenes in movie history. To be honest, yeah, such an intense moment though. But if you guys have never really seen it, you can find it on Fandango now, Vudu, Prime Video, Apple TV. Go watch Platoon. Definitely one of Oliver Stone's best. Anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever seen Oliver Stone's 1986 film Platoon? If so, what's your thought? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Tim signing off.